Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Brenda. Sorry it's been a long time. I'm having a lot of problems with my right knee. Gonna have to be replaced real soon. But I'll still be able to cook after a couple of weeks. But I've got a request for some homemade pintos. Easiest thing in the world, so here we go. First thing we're gonna do is wash them. They got to be washed real good. And I've just got a real small bag because I like them and my husband likes them, but we just probably ain't going to eat a large amount. So I've only got just a 1 pound bag, and that's probably more than we'll ever need. Now I'm going to put some hot water in them, and I'm going to use hot for a reason. And I'm going to let probably more than I'll need go in it. And I usually give them a couple of washings, you know, there's a reason for it. Some people soak their beans overnight, but I don't. That's not necessary really. I mean, if they want to do that, that's fine, but it's not necessary. Just do it all at one time. Now I'm going to let them water run in there just a little bit. And I'll flop them around a little bit. If it does it, I'll show you something that's magical here. Hopefully it will do it. I don't know. Sometimes it won't. Just depends, I guess, on the bean. I don't know why it won't, but sometimes it won't do it. Now, the water's really hot, and I like to make sure I wash them real good, you know. I don't know if I trust whether it's been washed before it was put in that bag or not. But anyway, I don't want to stop sinking either. Anyway, if you've got a bad bean in there, normally it will float to the top. And I don't soak mine overnight. Like I said, some people do. I don't. There ain't no use to. You can see a bad bean in there. Just move them around a little bit and let the water get still. Sometimes, like I said, it'll float to the top, and sometimes it won't. You just have to look for them. And trust me, that water's hot. Real hot. Sorry about these old marks. I'm clean. That's just when you have RA, it's in your blood, so it just somehow makes these marks come, and I'm not old. Well, I'm getting old, but I'm not old. I'm 58. That's not old. That's like my granddaughter used to say, middle. When I was 40, she told her teacher I was middle. I just give them a real good washing here and let them soak just a minute in this hot water. See, I've picked out a few beans, and honestly, the skin on it looks like it's just ready to peel back some, but the bean really don't look bad. They discolor a little bit, but they're not bad. And this is a fresh bag of beans. I don't know how fresh. I mean, I bought them from the store just the other day. Give them a little wash in there, and I'm going to get a colander and rinse them because I'm going to pull them down through there because I don't want to pull them down. Yep, they won't go down the drain because I got a drain cup in there, but when I get them cleaned, I want them to stay that way. Now, basically, that's all you have to do. I think my beans should be good enough to start cooking them. And like I said, if you want to soak these in cold water or something overnight, you can. But it's not really necessary. We never have, and they still turned out to do the same thing. Now, I think it'll go in this pot right here. I'm pretty sure that they should fit in this pot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to power boil these beans for a little while. Most of the time it takes around 2.5 to 3 hours. It depends on your pots. This pot is 7 layers of steel, so it'll cook a little hotter. And you gotta watch it, get it to boiling and turn them down to where it's constantly boiling, you know, but not boiling over. So I'm just gonna set this, I'm gonna set it right here on the eye for a minute because I got another little thing I'm gonna do. You know, I'm country, you can't leave out the country part. And I cleaned that off, so and I'll just set this back in there. I cut it in half. I don't know what I've done with the other half. It'll show up one of these days. Okay, I've just got some, it's just like side meat, a strip of lean that's got a little streak in there. That's about all. I don't need all of this, but I will just use some of it, I think. I might find me a bigger knife I like to use. Sorry about that. I should have been ready. I wasn't thinking about that meat and the knife. I'm not going to stand here digging this drawer all day either. Come on, work with me here. Good enough for you. I know where you belong, in the trash. And ladies, I had a question, and they want to know, how do I get up and look with my makeup and stuff on? 16 years old, I got a worker's permit and I started working. And my daddy wouldn't let me wear makeup. And I snuck a couple times and done it. And, well, he did. I got in trouble when I got caught. I tried to take it off before I got home, but one day I got a hold of some mascara that didn't come off with water. So when I got on my own, I started wearing makeup, and I got a worker's permit to work. And I'm just going to dab some of the water off this. I don't know why. It don't make no difference. I just don't want to slip and cut my hand. But I'm just going to give this a couple little slices. Basically, you can use lard. If you don't have no meat and you got lard, use lard. Not Crisco, but real lard. That's what this is lard. And that's going to cook up in that meat. And I just thought I'd make it a smaller piece, you know, and a couple of smaller pieces. And watch your fingers. You want to keep those babies. You need them. And I'm just cutting them down a little bit here. That's probably too much, but it don't matter. It'll cook up in there just the same. And this is okay. I'll put this away in a minute and everything, so I'm not fumbling with it right now. Put it away in a minute. Now, you got that in there. It might have a little salt. I'm doubting it's got a lot. I didn't feel it. So I don't really know how to measure. We've never measured, and when you cook a pot of beans, you cook a pot of beans. Sample it, see if it's got the amount of salt that you want in it. I will start, and I'm going to tell you as we go, I will add salt. Pintos has to have salt. I got right around the level teaspoon, okay? And we'll put that in there. And you'll add water as you're cooking these beans. You're going to keep on adding water. And as you add water, because of your power boiling, it boils away and to the air or wherever it goes. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with hot water here so they can get to cooking. And what you want to do is fill it up good over top of the beans. You don't want them to burn before they even get half cooked. So let's see what we got here. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to be real careful because I do not want to fall. So just pour it in there. And David, if you want to look and let them see, it's way over top of the beans. We'll turn that eye on to high. And there's a bean that's floated to the top. You see that? And it's not bad, it's just not full. So the skin will probably come off, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't care. He's still floating to the top. He don't want to stay in there. Like I said, if you don't have any kind of meat, and also you can fry this meat first and just pour the meat and the grease into there, but that's just a lot of extra work when you don't have to. I never do. Sometimes my mom does because my dad likes to eat some of that old fat meat, but I don't. Yuck. Okay, they're boiling at full blast now. We're going to turn them way down past medium, and I'll watch them to see when I can keep them boiling, okay? Now they're power boiling. Now in a few minutes when this calms down a little bit, if I left a bad bean in there, it will come to the top, I promise you. Rocks, whatever, they'll come right on up. I've never had a problem or, you know, anything. Just set that there a minute. Let's give them a little stir. And, alright, look. Right there's a bean that could be bad. He's trying to float to the top, so we'll just take it out. And if I miss it, it'll come. It will come. Trust me, I've cooked beans for a long, long time. Never had a problem with bad beans or rocks or nothing. And, this is the old-fashioned country way with some streaked meat, and salt is usually on it, but I'll tell you, I can probably taste this juice right now. It don't taste like it's got no salt in it at all, but it's okay. The reason why you want to make sure you keep some salt in it is so that it will cook in the beans, not just go away with, you know, this water evaporates. And I don't know why it evaporates. I guess just because of boiling and the steam's coming up in the air. Just like an evaporator if you use one in your room. So I'm going to turn them back up just a little bit more to get a steady boil. Now, like I said, they will take 3 hours with these pots. I'm not going to cook 3 hours with these pots at all. Now, you can get beans that's got rocks and everything in them, but I'm going to tell you, buy a good quality bag of beans so you won't have that problem. You used to have to sit and look them by hand, and we always just soaked them in hot water and washed them real good a couple times, you know, to make sure they're good and clean, and put some meat or some lard in there and let them cook. And this juice will get thick. There's another bad bean. See, it'll come on up there. And I've never poisoned nobody yet, so hopefully I won't this time either. So now I'm going to get them to cooking here, and I'm going to put the lid back on them. They're boiling about the way I want to. I want them to power boil with the lid on. Okay, we're going to check the beans now, and I've been keeping a check on them, and I'm sorry we didn't make it halfway through the beans. They're done, I think. And so we're going to go ahead and check them. It's been about an hour and a half, I think. And I've added water several times. You have to. I added probably a teaspoon and a half more of salt. You have to keep a close check on your juice. I like a lot of juice in mine. So I've added water constantly. I just keep adding a couple cups of water. And now it's going to depend on how much juice you like. And I like that juice over light bread. So I got a lot. And I'm going to check the beans now and let you look. You're going to be so surprised. David, come on over closer because I already know. And also, I forgot to tell you something I normally do. Sometimes I have a little bit of a memory lapse with medications I take, and I usually add just a little bit of sugar. For some reason, it helps in the thickening of the juice. I like my juice. It's not thick like gravy, but it's thicker than running water. You know what I mean? But I added to that 1 pound bag a half a teaspoon of regular sugar, that's all. Not brown, just regular sugar. So I want to surprise you to look at my beans. Look at that nice brown juice. It's thick. Look at the meat, how well it shrunk. So the lard got in the beans real good. They're good and soft. I don't want to stir them too much. They'll tear all to pieces. These pots are awesome. And I actually would like a little more juice, and I could probably add a little bit more. And I already know what it tastes like because I've tried it to make sure that they're right. Maybe I'll give him a bean because let's make sure they're good and tender. Ooh, you see that steam? Now, by the way, I had a request for these beans, and I hope the person that requested these beans, if you have any questions at all, leave me a message. I'm going to constantly check my messages and stuff. So it was basically just watching. I've got them turned down to almost low, and it was constantly boiling with the lid on. So just like this. And it's good and thick. Meat's done. They're done. And I want to thank everybody for watching our show today. Very simple. Any questions? Let me know. Thanks everybody for watching the show. We'll see you soon. Bye.